Tonight, the last individual, to be honest, there was no order for me other than the first spot. The people that have served and the people that were recommended, all, I'm getting my card. Notice how quick and easy this is. There was no difference. They all impacted me. They've all impacted you because you've been influenced by people that have been influenced by them. Bob Latiano. He's just a great man. Ultimately, he was in the NCBOA for 25 years. He first started in 1978. He served as vice president for 3 years, president 1, and served as an instructional chairman for 2. He was my assistant when I was instructional chairman for the 4 that I served as instructional chairman. He was actively involved in our association. He worked 6 section finals, 6 regional finals, and 1 CIF state final. He served as a leader, a man of character, a role model, on and off the court, for officials within the NCBOA. He always mirrored the example of professionalism. Look at the best dressed man on the floor. That's how he always was. Ultimately, if you go outside into the street in the people that were involved with basketball in the past, there isn't many that do not know Bob as who he was on the floor. An excellent official, a man of his word, a man that worked hard for you. Ultimately, the coaches, the players, his partners, and all of the North County basketball community benefited from him being on the court and his influence in this association. Bob Latiano.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you. What an honor. Very quickly, when I first joined the association, I remember the first banquet I came to, and I walked in and I said, boy, what a weird bunch of people we have. The second year I said, what an eccentric group we have here. And finally I realized what a unique group of individuals we are as officials. It takes a very, very unique person and personality to officiate and do a good job at officiating, and you should be very proud of what we do and what you all are still doing. I know during our time we had such camaraderie, and you're out there with your partners and at wherever you meet now after, there's nothing like that. I want to tell a couple anecdotes. My first week of varsity games, I worked with Frank. We were at San Marcos High School, and we had our pregame and went over everything, and I was very nervous. Of course, working with the instructional chairman at the time. And so we get into the game, a guy drives down the lane, he gets fouled, the ball goes up, he makes the call, he comes running over, he says, "Did it go?" I had no idea. I said, "Yes." He goes over and he rings the guy up, count the bucket, starts to walk away. The table says, Frank, it didn't go in." Oh man, I wanted to shrink into the hardwood, especially working with the IC. Another thing I wanted to clear up is Dal and I, for probably 20 years, we'd go out on the court, and I'd go out, and the coach would say, "Hi, Dal, how you doing?" I'd say, "I'm not Dal, I'm Bob." Dal would go out on the court, "Hey, Bob, you got to get it right, Bob." And at the time, we both had hair, little Princeton haircuts, and we were similar build and similar stature, and that's sort of what was the joke about when I stood up. I went to a game at La Costa Canyon this year, and watching the JVs, and went down. Rusty was down there with the varsity guys ready to come out, and as the boys came off the court, guy comes over, puts puts his hand out and says, "Nice to see you, Mr. Williams." I said, "Gee, this never ends." Fortunately, I picked up the phone, called Dal at home right then and there, and told him we had a great, great laugh. But we do something very unique, and you should be very proud of what you're doing. And I feel extremely honored to be remembered, and I certainly remember you all. And these old fellas up here, and not to forget Connie, who it really makes you feel old when you see people like that, and Steve, and these guys work in D1, and you can remember their first meeting that they came to. It's gratifying. We love the game. We love the rules, and we love the officials and the job that we all do. And we're a very special group. Don't ever forget that. And I'm proud and honored to be an honorary member. So thank you.
Do I still have the floor?
I think so, right?
The only group we haven't honored tonight are the significant others. I know how much it means to my wife to let me go run, to go play, to go collect some money, but she doesn't get any of it. But ultimately, we haven't as an association thanked those that are beside us. I would like to have you officials rise and properly clap for the ones that allow us to do what we do.
That's right.
If you're like my wife, she just says, "Get out of here."
I haven't figured it out with my wife, they call. I think that brings us to a close, unless you want to officially close this off.
Well, Ken stole my ending, so let's tell the story anyway. Dal and I were refereeing the basketball game, and Chris and Margaret were there. And we come out on the floor after our pregame. Of course, we got to our game an hour early, and so did Chris and Margaret. And we come out on the floor, and there's 20 people in the stands, like every good Division III women's game. And Dal looks up, and they're both sitting in the top row of the stands, reading a magazine or a book. He said, "You can always tell a basketball wife. They're in the top row reading a book." Well, the reason for that is because they have to sit there for an hour while we pregame and get dressed, and an hour after the game while we shower and get dressed. And they want to sit as far away from all those people yelling at us as they possibly can. So we do appreciate your support. And just in closing, remember we always stand on the shoulders of the people who came before us. And these are some pretty big shoulders up here. Thank you.